And all right, let's get it. Now, Sagittarius, I named this seeing results in reality from your knowledge and experience. Sagittarius, I believe you're in a space right now where you might be sick and tired of not having things to point out in the physical reality for what you know. You may feel like you've done experienced this, lived that, did that, and you may not have certain things to show for that shit. And that could get a little frustrating, especially when you feel like you have so much to give, so much awareness for this, that, and the third. Okay. So first we're gonna start with the sun and moon in the second house. Your value. Your value's been in your face. The value of the knowledge you have to give. The value with your ability to uh the knowledge you may have with Capricorn in the second house that help other people how to become stable or get structured in some type of shape or form. You may know how to get other people paid, get other people know understand how to help other people make money to stand there. But when you got Capricorn in the second house, you're gonna have a natural knack for understanding how to put time. What needs time. Like you're gonna have a natural knack for understanding what can grow and what has mad potential to grow with time placed into it. Yeah, that was the words. All right. Remember, Sagittarius is fire, chart ruler Jupiter. So when we talk about potential energy, we talk about intuition, they're one of the more intuitive signs in the zodiac for sure. All right. And when we talk about intuition, that's them being closer to that voice of God and them understanding things from a more philosophical point of view. Right. I'd be telling you, Sagittarius be spiritual and don't even be spiritual. They just have that natural spiritual philosophical nature. Right. So when we talking about the sun and moon in the second house, Capricorn, I keep saying Capricorn, Sagittarius sun rising, you've been seeing nothing but your values. Whether you're seeing other people do things that you value in yourself, but they're not as good as you and they have more success than you. A lot of Sagittarius sun rising are realizing that you have certain resources that you're not utilizing to build in structure, or you're understanding how to take the resources and the things that you've been adamant about building in structure in your life that you do value, and you're learning how to use these things to take it to another level, be more of an example to others. And whenever I see a sun and moon, whenever I know I'm about to have a sun and I'm about to have one soon. Pisces, baby, Pisces season. But whenever I'm about to have a sun in the second house transit, I already know that God is gonna make sure, the value that I have that I could use to connect to the world and help the world out. I'm gonna be more affirmed in that. Okay, so Sagittarius sunrise, I don't want y'all underestimating none of these things, especially if you have a strong spiritual calling to use something that you feel like you're of value to give to the world. We have to find ways to establish these things now. We have to find a way to start blueprinting these things now, and that's what Capricorn season has been helping you do. Sagittarius sunrise has been helping you to find out, how do I take some of these second house talents and gifts and actually establish them, lay the law down. All right, I need to get a T-shirt that says "lay the law down." I like that phrase so much, but that's what's going on, Sag sunrise. That's basically what's going on. You feel me? So it's important for you guys to make sure there's some sense of that blueprint, that regiment. There's a sense of that as we move on past Capricorn season. That's what the winter solstice was trying to introduce into your life. Okay. So we got that going on. Sun and Moon in the second house. And then mind you, Moon in the second house. Love to be here. This is the exaltation space. So this is a powerful new moon for you, Sagittarius sunrise. I see a lot of you guys getting over a certain hump and finally taking the initiative to establish something that's of value in your life around this time. Not saying nothing else y'all was involved with or doing wasn't of value, but I think this is a time where you could take something that you believe you have value of that you haven't really probably exemplified that much, or it's something that people do see from you, and once again you just haven't got intentional about taking that shit to another level or establishing it in your life to provide some form of stability, security, and see how it could create opportunities in your life. What's the sense of having all this value if we're not throwing that out into the world? So we got that going on. And so the sun and moon in the second house, it starts trining Uranus in your sixth. Starts trining Uranus in your sixth. So Sagittarius sun rising, don't ain't nothing manifesting without ain't nothing manifesting without a sense of regimen and routine. And I think that's been very evident these past couple of years. Sagittarius, I love y'all, one of in my opinion, that y'all the smartest sign. It goes between I jump back and forth every day between y'all and Virgo, but I think y'all one of the smartest signs, if not the smartest sign in the zodiac. And then um I'm pretty sure your intuition as far as what needs to be sustained in your sixth house has been very loud. I think your intuition has been very fucking strong these past couple years in general. In general, before Jupiter even got into that sixth house and you started to expand how you look at the sixth house because that's your ruler. So there was definitely an expansion process that took place since last year with you, how you look at sixth house space in general, how you look at working for things, how you look at being patient, weeding things out your life or adding things into your life. So I think with the sun and moon transit in the second house harmonizing with Uranus in the sixth, it's helping you once again to apply, right? To apply and establish the very gems that should be consistent in your sixth house, right? Whether the things that you stay in tune with spiritually, the things you do to take care of your wellness, you guys had that Jupiter energy move into your sixth house in general while Uranus is in there. So I'm assuming this past year, Sagittarius sun rising, Uranus done made the sixth house unstable. Y'all probably haven't been able to stay at a job for more than 2 years straight, 3 years straight since Uranus been in this house. And but when I see Uranus already here and then Jupiter coming here, this is Sagittarius starting to capitalize for a lot of the unstable things going on in their sixth house, for all the lack of application for things going on in their sixth house. So it may have took some time, to start realizing these things. Even though Jupiter was in that bitch, all that. No, it shouldn't have took that fucking long. I'm bugging. This is your ruler. It's your chart ruler. So things started getting really intense as soon as you started being lackadaisical in the workplace. Like I said, you probably started getting fired. You getting fired at the wrong times in your life. That's creating more recklessness, unstableness. So now that this energy is shining with Uranus in the sixth, the intuition is very loud as to what things need to be sustained in your sixth house, how you can gain power in your life and establish more stability and security by being more attentive to your sixth house. But that sun and moon is seeing exactly what Uranus needs to do in that area to gain some power over there, whether it's something that needs to take out or needs to add in. Okay. Then you got the sextile to Neptune in the fourth house. So Sagittarius simply making a decision to use something that they feel like they're talented and creative with it could really change the outlook of a lot of things. It could not just the outlook, it could change the atmosphere of things in the home environment and how you feel about yourself. Sagittarius sun rising, you're a fire sign. Fire deals with what? Creation, creativity. What happens when a fire sign isn't creating? Depressed, feeling stagnant, feels like they're not aligned. Fire sign got to be creating something or thinking about working on creating something in general. They deal with too much vision energy not to be in that state. All right. Oh man, I appreciate that magic. Send me a DM or an email. We chop it up about that. So so yeah, that trine into Uranus is serious business. Then that's sextile to Neptune in the fourth house. So you got the sun and the moon in the second house, once again, showing you your values, making you real sensitive towards the things you feel like you can use and connect to the world, connect to others. But the fact that it's harmonizing with Neptune in the fourth house, these could be things. This is you're realizing the things that you're good at, the things that you believe you're talented at, or the things that could be of a service or the value you give to the world. Like these things can bring people so much emotional resolve. These things can help people home environments out. If it's anything dealing with the subconscious in general that you want to push out to your first house in some type of way, that could really help that could really just help you and a lot of other people, with their emotional well-being. But the fact that Neptune is on some spiritual shit in general, you already a spiritual sign, and then you got the sun and moon in the second house demonstrating your values. I think there's so much energies dealing with application from what things you already know that affect your emotional, mental well-being, and it's just the ability to take initiative on these things around this time, Sagittarius, and not allow yourself to be here, there, here, there, here, there. No, you need to be in a more this Sun and Moon in the second house was trying to force you to be in a more concentrated, stable, focused, spaced, not moving your energy all around, but directing your energy into a certain endeavor, something that you're building. Okay, so much with that energy harmonizing with Uranus is so much that can transform. Dealing with your security and stability, the more regiment is a thing, the more your values can be placed into a sense of regiment, the more consistent you could be with your regiment. All right. And then yeah, that Neptune in the fourth house could just bring so much resolve to what you got going on in the home environment, towards your own emotional, mental well-being, and also to the to others. The more you're adamant about pushing your value out, people may start praising you, and not just to say like you should be looking forward to that from like an ego perspective, but people may really be letting you know how much they appreciate this service, how much they appreciate this brand, how much they appreciate this value that you're bringing into the world, because it's really helping them with things that they aspire to do. Neptune inspiration, aspirations, or simply things that dealing with the subconscious, the fourth house. Then we got Mars and Capricorn in the second house, trining Jupiter in the sixth. Now remember, Mars is turned up in the second house. So when I say Sagittarius, you need to be more focused, concentrated, stable. That is serious, because Mars can burn out in the second house, and Mars needs to learn how to be patient here. Okay, so make sure you pace Mars in that area. And then Mars is trining Jupiter in the sixth from the second house. So we're here back to regiment. Now, the fact that Jupiter been in your sixth house, once again, Sagittarius, this whole 2023 leading into 2024, karma has been heavy when it comes to things that you're supposed to be manifesting in your applying in your sixth house, that you're being lackadaisical about, whether your sleep regimen, just having no regimen, no schedule in general. And you a sign that don't really like schedule. You don't like routine. That's not your shit. You just want to live on the island and travel. And I know your shit, Sag. I get it. I get it. I'm a son in the ninth houser. I get it. All right. But uh your ability to align with Saturn energy will create opportunities and a lifestyle for you to feel more free. But right now you're learning to be obedient to something. You're learning to be disciplined. You're learning to honor time with something. The more you do that, the more these portals in a lifestyle where you have the resources or the freedom to move around, explore certain things without feeling the restriction bug will open up. But it got to come a time in your life you devote yourself to something new, you sacrifice for something. Okay. And I think that's really what's going on, with Mars and Capricorn in your second house, trying to use its values to transform your sense of security and stability, but it's harmonizing with Jupiter in the sixth. So Jupiter's like, yo, Mars, look, just just sustain this type of regimen, right? Whatever that value is, you're working this in a third. Like, let me put me on to what you're doing, and I'm gonna make sure there's a sense of, that practice, that work ethic being sustained in a regiment, and ultimately is going to change our lifestyle, is going to develop your character in different ways, and that's going to it's going to open up opportunities, especially with these things manifesting through the earth houses and earth signs. All right, so we got that going on. And then last but never least, the sextile to Saturn in the fourth. So Sagittarius sun risings, since the top of last year, has been a lot of new things you're experiencing in the fourth house when it comes into maybe certain responsibilities in the home environment got a little bit more intense. It might be some detachment going on with loved ones. When it comes into your fourth house in general, it's just a lot of changes taking place. Remember, Saturn's opposite here. The fourth house dealing with the home environment, connection, family, and then you throw Saturn in here, shit get a serious more. It's more of a serious temperament that manifests in this bitch now. All right, so you're gonna have more of a serious outlook on what things need to be established in the home environment. You may find yourself being way more serious, taking action or restricting things that you feel like are having a negative influence on your emotional, mental well being. You can even be impulsive. But just Saturn being in the fourth house since last year, one thing about Saturn in the fourth house, well, two things that are very prominent is Saturn learning how to build boundaries here. So this person that doesn't know how to build boundaries for real, or doesn't know how to be, doesn't know how to what should I say, reflect energy, right? Like, so let's say somebody they dealing with somebody, and this person act like you don't exist, and they they just not giving you no fucking effort and this shit. Saturn in the fourth house ain't fucking about to be all emotionally fucking invested. It's gonna reflect that energy like, all right, bitch, you don't want to connect with me, I ain't trying to connect with you, motherfucker. Saturn know how to reflect that energy in the fourth house. I know how to put a boundary up like a motherfucker. So I think a lot of my Sagittarius sun rising, you was learning that shit in 2023. You was learning that shit in 2023. Okay. And the fact that the sun and moon is in the second house right now and it's harmonizing with Saturn in the fourth house, you're gonna start to understand some more of how what you value, right? Second house, sun and moon. You're understanding what you value and traditional values in general. The second house does deal with like family values and traditions, right, and whatnot, but you're understanding how your value system can ultimately transform, the sense of stability in your life. Saturn in the fourth house, and with anything that is affecting Sagittarius sun rising emotional, mental well-being, their sense of feeling at peace, their sense of feeling stable, they have been very extreme, detaching and restricting those things in general since last year. So it's just that it ain't nothing new that they're about to do now. It's just that since the sun and moon is in the second house, this detachment is now going to be connected towards things with them making money, with them establishing thing with their value system. So aka if Sagittarius sun rising got a loved one, got a close friend that is kind of, you know, shooting their spirit down when Sagittarius sun rising talking about this new creative idea, this, that, and the third, or this new business they want to build. Sagittarius sun is gotta go, gotta go right now, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. They's not fucking with you right now. They ain't got time for that pessimistic. They don't even like pessimistic energy. They don't like that shit in general. They's one of the most optimistic signs. So they don't even like that shit in general. All right. So with motherfucking sextile, with the sextile to Saturn in the fourth house, yeah, Sagittarius cold shouldering all pessimistic energies. They're cold shouldering. You guys can be very impulsive. Be careful this week. But if it gotta get done, it gotta get done. But it could be very impulsive with detaching and restricting towards things that make it feel comfortable in the home environment, or make it question things that they're passionate about. Sagittarius ain't trying to question, ain't trying to double think, overthink anything that is extra passionate about, even though you guys do need to make sure you move with some tact, with some things that you're invested in right now, emotionally invested into, from a person to an aspiration, a relationship idea, partnership idea around this time. Okay, don't feel bad because you got the like a tolerance for a relationship, that for a friendship that you have mad history in. Man, listen, man, I got a lot of Capricorn energy. I'll tell y'all that shit right now, man. Some friendships and relationships don't last for fucking ever. It is what the fuck it is. Some of y'all want so much shit that y'all want to manifest and evolve in y'all life, and y'all childhood friends ain't on that time, and your mans and your homie and your homegirls and them from your neighborhood and your block, they ain't on that timing, right? It is what it is. We meet new people in certain chapters of our life, and then in certain chapters of our life, certain relationships have a decrease of interaction, and it is what it is. You learn to love them from afar. But when you're dealing with your transformation process and something that you're trying to develop, or Sagittarius sun rising, the sense of stability you're trying to reach in your fourth house. Remember, it's Saturn. So a lot of my Sagittarius sun risings, you being able to establish something dealing with stability is going to be what makes you feel at home. AKA the Sagittarius sun rising has all this. Now, what was the theme of this? Seeing results in reality from your knowledge and experience. So a lot of Sagittarius sun risings, you're going to find stability by taking something you have knowledge and wisdom about, something that you're creative with, something that you have some type of experience and familiarity with, and being able to establish something, right? Whether that's a fucking book, is a brand, is a fucking whatever the fuck it is, y'all. But it's your source of knowledge and wisdom. That's gonna bring a lot of stability to Sagittarius sunrise, while Pisces in the fourth house in general. That alone right there is gonna bring such a strong sense of stability out, because y'all now have something to look at, something to look at as a tangible result, you know, of your knowledge and wisdom. It sucks to feel like you're so fucking creative and smart and have nothing to show for it. And I think the more disciplined Sagittarius sun rising stay, honing in on their values with the sun and moon establishing this new awareness in the second house of what your worth is, what your worth is. All right, is a bunch of magical shit that could go on right now, but we don't play about no sun and moon. We don't play about no sun and new moon transit in the second house. We don't play about those. Your value gets refreshed here. And for those of y'all that have this type of alignment going on, so my Sagittarius sun rising, and you feel like, damn, bro, I don't know my value to stand a third. We spoke about this in my last live stream. You got to find ways to follow your heart and just, start, playing around with things that you like, that you have an intrigue for, you know. And the more you just take the little steps, it don't have to be the right step. What's gonna happen? God is gonna show up. The universe is gonna show up. It's gonna be like, all right, thank you for taking the first step. Now listen, okay, you can't rap for shit, even though you tried to try it. But really, I'm glad you came here because really, you're a talented producer. So now that you're in the studio, so God gonna re-navigate you. It may be the wrong shit you started with, but you took the step for something. God not about to get you up to start shit and do. No, you guys to do that part. You guys to do that part. You guys to do that part. All right, family. I love y'all. The new moon made us just do another 5-hour John. Once again,